Hello everyone and welcome to another Wano deck deep dive as we're gonna go into the first of the Czechoslovak divisions in one of these with the 19th Motostrelcke. And before we jump in, a quick shout out to Wano League Season 5. Sign up is going for one more week, guys. And we already have a good number of signups, but there are still a couple of slots open. And Season 5 is going to be the best Wano League season ever. We are working on a lot of improvements to the Fantasy League, to the pick and ban tool. We have a full-on new pick and ban tool that will make it a lot easier for players to pick, and everybody is welcome, no matter your skill level. We have 4 divisions in which people are slotted into, depending on skill level. So new players will face other newer players, and top level players will face other top level players. So no matter where you are at in your 1v1 skill, feel free to sign up. Everybody's welcome. And let's go on with the 19th Motostrelcke, as we have a really good division in front of us here. Starting in the logistics tab, where you get BMP1s. So this is where we get 6 out of our 8 CVs here in this deck. And that's a really good number with 8. The BMP1s here is decently priced as well. No smoke, as always, on the BMP1 leaders that you have in all the packed nations, which is a bit unfortunate, but yeah, it's still a decent fair price leader. 2 supply cards, a bit low for what you want in this deck, but I feel like going down to 5 leaders is a bit too low for the deck as well, so that's the trade-off here. You could play it with 5 and then get another card of supply, but I rather go the safe route on the CV side of things. Infantry tab is a really good one as well. We start with a lot of BMP1 and BMP2 infantry, and those infantry units also good in fighting. The Motostrelcke for 35 point with double MG, really good firepower. The BMP1 makes it really cheap as well. You get a BMP1 and an infantry for 60 points, and the BMP1 with Malyutka really efficient. And the infantry inside, a solid one as well. You get the same with an RPG for 40 points and the BMP2. So that's where you get your high quality autocannon, your Conquerors ATGMs, so that you have something that can kill medium tanks as well. And yeah, can mix and match here. For the fast transports and the flank protection, we go with the reservist here, the Soloshnitsi, with 1 medium machine gun and an RPG. Not a great squad when it comes up to fighting, but they're really cheap. 35 points for 10 men, that's good. And they can just sit there and block the enemy and let your other units then catch up. You can bring them at least with 1 vet so that they have some fighting capabilities as a reservist. You still get 8 of them, so you get quite a lot of forces here. And then we come to the special forces part, where we start with the Conquerors team, coming along here with the ATGM. Currently, even with the stats bonus of special forces, that will likely go away, but currently they even get amazing stats. And then we have the special forces infantry coming in Me-17s as well. And you want to be careful with when you bring them around and how you bring them around. In the opener, it's pretty risky, so don't do that all that often. But in some matchups, you can do it when the enemy doesn't have good fighters and no forward deploy A. And the infantry itself is really solid as well. A good RPG, a 10-man squad, double medium machine gun. It's not the best special forces, but for 65, it's really cost efficient as an infantry unit. And once you sold the helicopters, that's quite good. You could consider going with 1 in Me-17s, but as I find them quite hard to protect, the more point is a bit too expensive currently. I'd rather just go for the normal Me-17s, sell them, and then have the cost-efficient infantry on the front line. So, yeah, 2 cards of those for really efficient infantry fights where you need them. And the RPG 7VL, really good one as well. So if enemies try to push with vehicles into a forest or a town where these guys are at, they can hold them off quite nicely. Artillery is a really nice one as well. The Danas, absolutely fantastic. You could consider going up vet with them and having only 2 of them. Or you can go with 4 at 0 vet. Both options are fine here. Depending on matchups and tournaments, I would say. You can switch depending on map. But yeah, Dana's really, really good artillery. And the Pram S is a fantastic little mortar as well that doesn't have mortar trajectory on its gun. So this is the really big thing for this. The mortar has the accuracy of a normal mortar, the damage of a normal mortar, but it has the more direct firing trajectory and quicker landing artillery trajectory of a normal artillery piece. Conquerors on top of it is quite nice as well. So the Pram S, really solid little artillery piece, and can be used to put a lot of fire onto the enemy as well, pushing it a bit closer to the front line so it gets a bit more accurate to the mortar, and especially also can use the Conquerors in some moments. It can be quite nice as well. Tank Tab, really good one for Mechanized division as well. You get the T-72M1K leader with smoke, with the 17 frontal armor, so it can't get one-shotted by ATGM planes. T-72M1s coming around with that 17 frontal armor as well. Really nice tanks even after all the nerfs, but yeah, for 95 points they're still worth it. T-55M1, a nice one as well, especially for assistance on the flanks. With the maximum range main gun, can be helpful as fire support against infantry, can be helpful against enemy light vehicle pushes. So these as fire support are really helpful. They don't do well against other tanks on max range because the gun just doesn't do much damage, but they can help as fire support, and against IFVs, APCs in infantry, they are really good assistants on the long range. Conquerors, really good for ambushing with the good stealth, with the Conquerors, to hold out on the sides as well, or get a flank on enemy tanks and try to find some side shots there. With the ATGMs, so it's T-72s, keep them busy. So having some of these is nice as well. And they actually can help out against tanks. So that's why we have them next to the T-55s and not two cards of the T-55s, so that you can get some shots out there. Then we have the Recon tab, where the Svatava is an absolute monster. The Malutka and exceptional optics for 60 points. The main gun can be helpful against enemy APCs and Recon IFVs as well. And the Malutka is a really nice addition on top, especially against other Recon vehicles. And for 60 points, the better BRM here basically is what this is just absolutely fantastic. Malutka M, a really helpful tool as well. So this one, a really great exceptional optics unit. And then we have our bigger Recon squad with the Moch Prushkumnitsi, and they could come in P1, but this one is one without smoke, as per usual for the Czechoslovaks. So we take them in the truck instead, and they are a good fighting force. 7 men, have an RPG 7 VM, and they are really helpful to deal with enemy recon squads. So that's what we use them for. And then on the side we have the GSI unit here for better optics, special forces. So 2 really good optic units and 1 to hold the front line to fight there. You could maybe do it with this one as well. Has 1 less man and costs 10 points more and has a weaker RPG as well. So that's why I rather go with these guys here, even though you get a bit better availability here on the SHBC. So this could be the other option in my eyes if you would want to switch something out. AA, we go with a 2 wet coup at the beginning and then a 1 wet coup card afterwards. So 3 coups. The first one really efficient. This is usually the one you want to put into the opener, so that it can help out with enemy light bombers. Like if the enemy has MiG-21 bombers or so, this can one-tap them and is relatively accurate. Has good reload time and rate of fire, so that it can get 2 missiles out quite quickly usually. So yeah, the first cut of coups, really important to have that efficient. And then the follow-ups are decently efficient as well with 1 wet. And then we have the Yestaka as good anti-helicopter. The extra range compared to other double-barrel 20mm on this 30mm here is really nice, so that you can push enemy helicopters away and kill them off quite often as well. So yeah, Yestaka 30mm, pretty key as well. can be helpful as fire support, but you don't have that many slots here, so you often want to use them only against helicopters and be a bit more careful with these guys around. As the slots are really expensive, so putting in the Eagles here, especially as they can only come in Me-2s, is a bit tough, and the Strellas are not really worthwhile. Helicopter, good tap as well. Me-2 URP, great for openers. Malyutka can annoy the enemy. The 23mm can do some decent damage as well. And you could consider upvetting them as well. Or you keep 5 around of these. This is a good choice as well that you could consider. And then the Me-24V Rocket 2 of the Czechoslovakias, a really, really good one. Great range on these rockets, and the rockets do good damage. They're cheap to reload. The cores on the side, good ones as well. So this is a fantastic helicopter. So we take both cards here. The long rocket range, really, really helpful. Air tap, 6 fighters, MiG-21s, MiG-29s, Su-25K, Su-25 AT and rocket variants. And yeah, that's the only planes that you kind of get. So the fighters, MiG-21 especially helpful against enemy helicopters. The helicopter diver, because both can shoot against helicopters, both missiles, and with those, then you get a likely kill. MiG-29, the long-range fighter that you want to stay a bit more defensive with. Sometimes combine it with the MiG-21 so that the MiG-21 stays ahead of it, so that your MiG-29s don't get shot at immediately and can deal the damage. Defensively, together with the coup, you should be able to keep the sky pretty clean. And you have 6 fighters. It's not perfect, but it is a decent start. And the Su-25s are key to come around when you need to get a push through on the side. And you just need to get rid of some enemy HGM positions also. The Su-25 rocket is great, and the Su-25 AT is great to get a kill against an enemy heavier unit early on, and then allow your tanks to get some exploitation out there early on. So yeah, this is quite nice as well. And yeah, let's get to the strengths and weaknesses of this deck. And one strength for sure is the good Mechanized Infantry. And the next one is the pure cost efficiency of the deck. Like, you have pretty efficient artillery, efficient infantry, really cheap BMP1 plus Motostrelcke. The tanks are on the more cost efficient side as well. You get cheap helicopters, you get cheap anti-helicopter AA, and you get cheap fighters. So the cost efficiency that you start with into a game is really nice. And I would say the artillery tab is one of the better ones in the game as well. So good fire support there. And yeah, weaknesses. I would start with a bit of a lack of depth. You can run out of stuff in each tab, so the late game can be quite tough. Your AA tab here is not the deepest because it gets pretty expensive quite quickly. Same with Recon. Kind of same with Air tab as well. So once that gets going, you start to struggle. You also lack the high-end stuff. T-72 M1 is nice, but you don't have the next step, no S's, no other heavier tank that can come around and save you. Infantry is good, but not quite top end either, so yeah, it's all good, it's all cost efficient, but in the late game you can struggle a bit, and you don't have forward deployment on top, so those two things together make it, or 3 things together make it a bit tougher to play when it goes a bit deeper, and you really have to use that minute 5 to 25 window. And you can use that really, really well with this deck, but you absolutely have to focus on that. You can still win the late game if you keep the enemy off balance in that mid game and then just carry it over the next 15 minutes afterwards, and if you preserve your units. But if the enemy starts to take out some key units, you can start to stumble with this deck. So you have to be careful with how you use it. If you use it well, though, it's really, really powerful, and the cost efficiency ratio that you have until that point is just really fantastic. So it's a good deck. I think it's a pretty strong deck at the moment as well. I'm not the best at using it, but we will attempt in the next video, and if you don't want to miss that, consider liking down below, and we will go into the action there. So see you all in the next one.